Good morning. Back at the house. Welcome. Hello. Again, no real huge plans here. It's really kind of weird, and it honestly kind of bothers me internally that I don't really feel like I know what I should be doing right now. But I'm just gonna let the wind take me wherever the wind takes me. And I think where the wind is calling me is to go outside on this porch roof and get a good look at what my siding looks like on this little bump out right here outside of these windows. I think it's going to be bad. I think it needs to be replaced, and I don't know why in my head I feel like, oh, that can wait, because it could. I mean, it could wait. I don't need to do that now. It's been bad for a long time. But now that I've touched these windows and I'm starting to kind of fix these windows a little bit, it's like, oh no, I should probably, you know what I'm saying. I just noticed this one has a broken piece of glass right here. So I'll have to bring this one home and fix it. I fixed Lily's, took it home, sanded it down, filled the wood as much as I could, and re-primed it. Turned out pretty good, put new glass in it. I mean, it's significantly better than it was. These stained glass ones, I need to bring those home also and fix them. I don't really know how that comes out. Yep. Alright, so as far as this stained glass window goes, this one's broken. The rest of these are good for now. The back is going to be probably horrendous. No, it's not too bad, actually. But still, scraped and painted probably isn't going to hurt. Okay, so for this stained glass window, if you can see, I think you can. This one's broken. The rest of these are okay. Oh no, this one's broken. Now, I don't know about you. Now that I've got those out, these windows seem so much bigger because the stained glass kind of shields your view. It's weird, but understandable. Okay, these old storm windows are, I don't know if I'm gonna keep them or not, but for now, I'd like to try to get them out. Okay. I'm super scared and super intimidated on what I'm gonna find when I really start poking around out here, guys. It's really scary. I could have got my screw gun, but that would be faster and easier, so I've decided to use the screwdriver. That wood is not rotten like I thought it would be. It's not good. It's not good. I don't want to come off like this is good. This is not good. This is the opposite of good. I think this is what you would consider bad. This is something I'm going to do from home, repairing all those up.
Let the first sound you hear be a beating heart, speeding bright, speeding bold. When your eyes...
A couple things This piece of wood here is definitely not good. This is questionable, but it's not bad. And this little piece of siding right here is broken and not great.
In the rising and fall of the mountains in your breath, there are dreams, there are dreams. Remember, yours is the heart that paints the world the very best in the colors of your life.
It's a lot newer looking, huh?
So be kind, have courage, treat yourself with dignity. Walk tall, speak sweetly, be brave enough to leave. 'Cause when you're caught in the darkness that comes over me, remember yours is a light that the darkness cannot be. That yours.
Yeah, I got the nails. Okay, so that's good. I'm gonna get 2 shingles. They're gonna take the place of those bottom 2 shingles. And then I'm also gonna go down, I've got some galvanized steel in the barn. I think I have steel cutters, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna get a new piece of flashing for right in here too. Give you a nice up close picture here. I'm just gonna get a new piece of flashing that's gonna go underneath here, all the way across, and then underneath this piece of step flashing. I wanted to share this with everybody. I didn't know this. I've got some metal flashing here. I'm talking to 2 cameras at once. And I don't have tin snips on me. An Amish guy showed me one time when he was doing my metal roof. He did this with metal roofing, but it works with any kind of metal like this. A razor blade, sharp or dull, doesn't matter. Make your lines. You don't have to press hard, but you score it, fold it, and you can cut your metal very accurately with nothing more than a dull razor blade. Amish tip. I ended up just making a shingle out of the ash. It's just like the shingles that I need. Planed it, cut it all down, and I cut it at a good angle. And now I'm just gonna go cut 2 of those and put those down there. Once it's painted, it will be more than fine.
There's a light that the darkness cannot be. May you find that your heart, it burns as big as your mother's, and your smile just as bright. Remember grace when you fall and turn to shadows like your father, and the words to make it right, make it right. To be kind, have courage, treat yourself with dignity. Walk tall, speak sweetly, be brave enough to leave.
When home renovating, you have to know your limits. You have to know your maximums. You know, what are you willing to do for the time that it's going to take you, and then how good of a job can you really do because you're not a professional. I think this outside is too much for me. Just to replace this 1 piece of wood and a couple shingles, though I think it turned out pretty good. You know, yeah, I have to be confident with what I'm doing. Otherwise, I feel like I'm doing more damage than good. So, with all that being said, I think I'm gonna find a contractor. I think I know the perfect one to come up here, save what can be saved, scrape what can be scraped, and paint what can be painted. All new flashing, and he'll do it correctly. the first time. I would learn the hard way, I think, with all of this. All of this type of work is just something like, the more you do it, the better you are at it, and I've never done it. What I need to do right now is get a piece of wood to go up here, so animals and stuff can't get into my house, because I'm going to bring all those windows home. So I'm going to go get a piece of wood to put up here.
It comes over me. Remember, yours is a light, and the darkness cannot be. That yours is a light, and the darkness cannot be.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to do something a little different. Maybe because I'm bored, maybe because I've been watching too much This Old Tony. We're going to be cutting some glass. Now, to cut glass, you really only need a couple things. Glass and a rock. But if you want to cut glass accurately, you need a couple more things. Like a straight edge, a marker of some sort, maybe a razor blade, but most of all, you need a glass cutter. Now these things are pretty cool. Now I know what you're thinking. On the outside, that's a pretty boring looking tool, but there's a lot going on here. You have a little ball. I don't know what that's for. These three little things here, I think that has something to do with the thickness of the glass you're cutting. But most important, this. A little carbide cutting wheel. Now you don't have to keep your glass cutter in a huge leather sheath like me. But if you lose the original sheath, this works perfectly. Let's get to work. As you can see here, I have a table with a blanket. This is one of those really fancy electric blankets. I think you've probably seen them sometimes in the 90s. Because this glass is old, from an old window, I read online, I knew from my years of experience of cutting glass, that if you warm the glass up, it cuts a little better. If you want to be super fancy, we could use a laser to measure, but I'm going to use this, because, well, I'm not fancy. You don't want to just measure once across your pane. You actually want to measure 4 places. Top to bottom, left to right. Because, let's face it, this old pane is not square. We could measure a perfect square and cut a whole bunch of cuts in here. But why do extra work? Let's just start from a corner, measure over, and only make 2 cuts. Seems easier. Make sure that this does not move while you're scoring. Otherwise, your line won't be a line. It's important to note, a Sharpie marker is 0.021397 inches wide. That's not an exact measurement. But just know, if you cut to the left of the marker line or to the right of the marker line, it's going to affect how big your glass is. It's always best to measure once and cut twice. For fun, let's see if it's diagonally square. 25 and an eighth. 25 and an eighth. That's shocking. This tool is much easier to use if you have friends to hold your straight edge. But if you're like me, I've decided to use a piece of this sticky laminate tile in order to try to hold my line a little better. We'll find out if it works when I try to peel it off. Now the best part, let's make that glass cutting sound. So I'm just going to gently rock it back and forth until it snaps. Hopefully where you want it. Just like that. Well, we're halfway there. Let's see if we can't break this piece of glass now by making a mistake. You can see with this cutter, the wheel is in the middle of these two pieces of steel. Those two pieces of steel are probably 1/16 of an inch. So when you set up your line, you want to make sure you account for that. Oh, that one broke bad. Oh, it broke bad. Oh, it ruined. Well, glass cutting is not easy. I think it goes without saying that I'm pretty disappointed right now that I just broke that glass. You probably have no idea how much, thought and then setup went into just making a stupid video trying to be funny about the This Old Tony channel and breaking that glass. Granted, the glass broke because it's just old, and old glass is hard to cut. So I'm not really upset that it broke. I mean, I bet you I'm going to break a lot of glass trying to replace glass in these windows. I did replace, at home, I replaced Lily's pane that was broken. I have it set in there with a little bit of glazing that I had, and then I ordered more glazing to actually glaze the whole back of the window. But this one cut good. This was old glass, just the same exact glass that I used for Jace's. And this one cut good, and his didn't. I mean, that's just what happens. It's just disappointing when I waste an hour or more of my time to do a video and then it breaks. So I'm still going to show it even though it broke and it didn't work out. One thing I need to do is, you can see the sheetrock sits proud of the jamb by about 1/2 inch, maybe a little bit more. I need to piece in a piece of wood in there. Ideally, it'd be nice to replace all of this wood, but there's nothing wrong with it, and I don't want to ruin anything by trying to, make a new jamb. I need those old windows to fit. But I do need the jamb to be thicker. So I'm going to go get some more of that ash from the barn, and I'm going to mill up. I need pieces to go all the way around, and then 2 pieces for the center. Decided just to roughly install these storm windows because I don't really want to keep a piece of wood up there long term. I did not paint the outside yet. It's raining. It's not a good day to paint. I'll probably get up there and paint at some point. But the thing is, I guess, is knowing that the Amish guy is going to come and scrape and paint and replace all the wood out there that needs to be replaced, and he's going to take care of it. I don't really want to mess with it too much, and I don't want to leave the piece of wood up there forever. So I just clean, I put the storm windows back on. That's going to keep animals and stuff out. And for the most part, it will keep a lot of the air, even though they're open at the bottom. You know, so if water comes in, it can wick out. So they're not perfect, they're not amazing, but they're better than nothing. I'll probably sand and maybe do one coat of primer on the inside of the window today.
That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, everybody.